Guys, welcome back. Homemade apple cider from scratch. This is the second video. Yesterday was the intro. Today is part one. We're gonna actually start doing work today, part one. So, couple quick things before we get cracking. There are a few things I forgot in the ingredients list, in the equipment list, I should say, that are optional but super handy. The first one is this. This is an auto siphon, super handy thing. I'm not going to show you exactly how it works because I'd have to have huge buckets, but you insert this in one of your buckets. This one's big enough for a 5-gallon. They make smaller ones for a gallon, but it's not as needed if you have just a gallon. But you plunk it in your bucket, you pump it a couple of times, and then it automatically siphons the liquid downhill to another bucket. I use this to transfer juice a ton in the big 5-gallon carboys because for two reasons. One, they have the tapered lid and they're super heavy because they're glass. They've got a tapered lid so it's hard to pour, and stuff forms at the top and the bottom. This siphon is awesome to put right in the middle and you can siphon off the clear stuff. Those are pretty handy. The second, and you guys might have seen these when we did ginger beer. You can get these on Amazon, these little flip top bottles. They're great for carbonated liquids because they maintain the carbonation with the little rubber seal, and it's a fun way to bottle when you're done. So think about those things if you've got a shopping list together. You'll note, please, in the description of the YouTube video, there's a link to a OneDrive folder, and in the OneDrive folder there's a document with the process and my equipment list, my recommended stuff. I'll paste other things into that same folder, maybe some pictures along the way, some other links to online articles that I've found helpful. So keep an eye on that, and I'll keep mentioning it too. So every video, just like we did with sourdough, I'm going to talk through the process just to remind us where we're at. If you remember yesterday, we need to find some juice, we need to find some fresh cider, or we can get some from the store, and it can't have preservatives because that's going to inhibit the yeast. What we do then, and I've got my list here, which is on that link I mentioned. So we take our juice, we filter it a couple times if needed, if it's super pulpy, if you had it in a press. The first thing we do then is we add those Campden tablets to kill any natural yeast. There probably won't be any in store-bought juice, but there definitely will be in pressed cider, whether you get that from a farm or from me, or you press it yourself or whatever. So that's a good step to do no matter what, just to be safe. That's what we're gonna do today. Then we have to wait 2 days. We have to wait 48 hours for that to neutralize the yeast. There will be a step where we sanitize again, because then we're gonna add sugar, and then we're gonna add yeast, and then it has to stay for 10 days to 3 weeks. It's critical that the equipment is super sanitized. So we will go through another sanitation. We will go through another step, sanitizing stuff before that long 3-week period. The other thing we'll do before we pitch the yeast is we'll measure the sugar content that we will have added. Then, so we'll have a before and after that'll tell us how much alcohol is in the cider. Then we pitch the yeast and we wait. And there's more after that, but I'm not gonna get that far ahead of us. Here's the thing that I'm gonna do. So I mentioned I've got a batch starting, and you've probably seen pictures. I've got 15 gallons over here fermenting. Sorry that I can't pan the camera. It's too much of a pain with the way the tripod is set up. But I'll do another view. I'll do another angle again when it starts fermenting. For this batch that I'm gonna do alongside you guys, I went to the store, and just for fun, I found a couple good examples. This one is Apple and Eve organic apple juice, 100% juice. And this one is Treetop, 100% pure pressed honey crisp fresh apple juice. Come on, camera. There we go. Okay. Both of these, if you look on the back or the sides, 100% pure juice, nothing added, nothing artificial, never from concentrate, etc. So these don't have any preservatives, which is awesome. The ingredients list. Where's the ingredients list? Yeah, the ingredients list. Hey, Selah, Washington. Check that out, Tim. That's cool. Ingredients says apple juice on this one. The ingredients on this one says organic apple juice, filtered water, organic apple juice concentrate, and acid for tartness. That's not going to hurt the yeast at all. I did find several examples of apple juice, even one that said fresh cider, that specifically said that they had preservatives. We don't want to do those, as I said yesterday, because those preservatives aren't bad, but they will inhibit the yeast from working. So what I'm going to do, just for fun, alongside you guys, is I'm going to mix these two together, along with some extra of my hand-pressed cider in this jug. And that will be the batch that I do along with you guys while these bigger batches are going. And over here, I'll show you again later. Over here I have 5 gallons of pure Fuji, 5 gallons of pure Honeycrisp, and 5 gallons of blend. So it'll be super interesting to see how those turn out. So here we go. Let's get rolling. The first thing we're gonna do, I introduced you to this yesterday. This is our sanitizing spray. It's the Star San concentrate mixed with water. I keep this bottle next to the gear all the time because all you have to do is take your container, give it a spritz on the inside, liberally for sure, and around the outside, and then just be careful how you handle it. Like then I only handle it on the outside from the bottom, but I also feel free to just spritz my hands with it, and that kills whatever is on my hands too. So pretty sanitized. And you know what, just for fun, why not? We'll just spritz the top of the juice containers because we're gonna be handling those. I've already spritzed the lid with the stopper, but just for fun, we'll do that again. And I think that's good. So there's, because I like it to have a decent amount in there, then I just pour some out onto a paper towel. There'll be just a few drips. It's not bad. That's the other thing real quick. Super foamy, and especially in the big containers, but it's totally fine. I learned from Joel, my beer making friend, that you don't have to worry about it. It's not like soap bubbles from kitchen sink soap. You can pour it right in over the top, but I don't want to have an inch of the stuff on the bottom of the container. Okay, so we want to for sure use this Selah, Washington Honeycrisp, so I'm going to make sure and use this whole container. Get that out of there. Let me just move some things around so you can see now that the equipment demo is over. That's a little better. Okay. Then the Organics 100% apple juice. And that is actually fine because we're gonna be adding some sugar later, but we can always take some cider out. In fact, we're gonna need to take some cider out when we add the sugar later. So I also don't want there to be a ton of oxygen. So I'm gonna just go ahead and fill that most of the way to the top with, this is also a mix of the home pressed Fuji and Honeycrisp. Okay, we've got our Campton tablets. Remember, the job of the Campton tablets is to kill the natural yeast. I just have a little bowl here, It's 1 tablet per gallon. This is a 1 gallon container. So I'm just gonna crush 1 tablet. And just make a little fine powder-ish so there's not huge chunks. A mortar and pestle would be cool for this. I'm just using the back side of a Sharpie because I don't have a spoon. Hi Emma, come on in. Come over here.
How's it going?
You get to be in my video now.
Oh, hey.
How's it going?
Just came to get some starter fluid, but it's
Starter
okay.
fluid, awesome. We are adding Campton tablets, 1 crushed Campton tablet, because its job is to kill the natural yeast in the apple juice before we add our own yeast. Okay, say hi to the camera.
Hello, camera.
Okay, crushed Campton powder, there you go. See that powder? It's just a little, it's just 1 pill's worth, and drizzle it in there. That's all it takes. You don't have to stir it or anything like that. It'll absorb in. And then I'm going to, without touching the insides with my hands, I've already spritzed the lid. I'm gonna put this lid on. And it's not critical at this point to have the air lock in. I just have it since it's already on there. In fact, they say not to seal it at this point, and so I'm just gonna loosely put the lid on while it absorbs those tablets. What's gonna happen now is we're gonna let it rest for 48 hours. We are going to come back, take some of the cider out to mix with sugar and pour back in, and then get ready. The step after that is pitching the yeast, and then we wait. So not super complicated, but we'll go through each step of the way. For now, I hope you guys are following along. I hope you're doing this. Leave questions, post questions, comments. If I'm doing anything wrong, let me know. But this is super fun. See you guys soon.